My father is proud, sir, and if he had not a meal left, I doubt if he would have asked anything from anyone, except from heaven. Well, then, after this first visit has been made we shall count on you. I must again excuse myself, M. Morel, for after this first visit has been paid I have another which I am most anxious to pay. True, Dantes, I forgot that there was at the Catalans someone who expects you no less impatiently than your father, the lovely Mercedes. Dantes blushed. Ah, ha, said the shipowner, I am not in the least surprised, for she has been to me 3 times, inquiring if there were any news of the Pharaon. Peste, Edmund, you have a very handsome mistress. She is not my mistress, replied the young sailor, gravely. She is my betrothed. Sometimes one and the same thing, said Morel, with a smile. Not with us, sir, replied Dantes. Well, well, my dear Edmund, continued the owner, don't let me detain you. You have managed my affairs so well that I ought to allow you all the time you require for your own. Do you want any money? No, sir, I have all my pay to take, nearly 3 months' wages. You are a careful fellow, Edmund. Say I have a poor father, sir. Yes, yes, I know how good a son you are, so now hasten away to see your father. I have a son too, and I should be very wroth with those who detained him from me after a 3 months' voyage. Then I have your leave, sir? Yes, if you have nothing more to say to me. Nothing. Captain Leclerc did not, before he died, give you a letter for me? He was unable to write, sir. But that reminds me that I must ask your leave of absence for some days. To get married? Yes, first, and then to go to Paris. Very good, have what time you require, Dantes. It will take quite 6 weeks to unload the cargo, and we cannot get you ready for sea until 3 months after that, only be back again in 3 months, for the Pharaon, added the owner, patting the young sailor on the back, cannot sail without her captain. Without her captain, cried Dantes, his eyes sparkling with animation, pray mind what you say, for you are touching on the most secret wishes of my heart. Is it really your intention to make me captain of the Pharaon? If I were sole owner we'd shake hands on it now, my dear Dantes, and call it settled, but I have a partner, and you know the Italian proverb, chi ha compagno ha padrone, he who has a partner has a master. But the thing is at least half done, as you have 1 out of 2 votes. Rely on me to procure you the other, I will do my best. Ah, M. Morel, exclaimed the young seaman, with tears in his eyes, and grasping the owner's hand, M. Morel, I thank you in the name of my father and of Mercedes. That's all right, Edmund. There's a providence that watches over the deserving. Go to your father, go and see Mercedes, and afterwards come to me. Shall I row you ashore? No, thank you, I shall remain and look over the accounts with Danglars. Have you been satisfied with him this voyage? That is according to the sense you attach to the question, sir. Do you mean is he a good comrade? No, for I think he never liked me since the day when I was silly enough, after a little quarrel we had, to propose to him to stop for 10 minutes at the island of Monte Cristo to settle the dispute, a proposition which I was wrong to suggest, and he quite right to refuse. If you mean as responsible agent when you ask me the question, I believe there is nothing to say against him, and that you will be content with the way in which he has performed his duty. But tell me, Dantes, if you had command of the Pharaon, should you be glad to see Danglars remain? Captain or mate, M. Morel, I shall always have the greatest respect for those who possess the owner's confidence. That's right, Dantes. I see you are a thoroughly good fellow, and will detain you no longer. Go, for I see how impatient you are. Then I have leave? Go, I tell you. May I have the use of your skiff? Certainly. Then, for the present, M. Morel, farewell, and 1,000 thanks. I hope soon to see you again, my dear Edmund. Good luck to you. The young sailor jumped into the skiff, and sat down in the stern sheets, with the order that he be put ashore at La Canebière. The 2 oarsmen bent to their work, and the little boat glided away as rapidly as possible in the midst of the 1,000 vessels which took up the narrow way which leads between the 2 rows of ships from the mouth of the harbor to the Quai d'Orléans. The ship owner, smiling, followed him with his eyes until he saw him spring out on the quay and disappear in the midst of the throng, which from 5 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, swarms in the famous street of La Canebière, a street of which the modern Phaeacians are so proud that they say with all the gravity in the world, and with that accent which gives so much character to what is said. If Paris had La Canebière, Paris would be a second Marseille. On turning round, the owner saw Danglars behind him, apparently awaiting orders, but in reality also watching the young sailor, but there was a great difference in the expression of the two men who thus followed the movements of Edmond Dantes. Chapter 2. Father and Son.